Well, hola from Mexico. I'm Bob Henderson. I'm the Nomad Dad for the Nomad Capitalist, and I thought I'd bring you a little bit up to date on what the Nomad Mom and I have been doing over the last 12 months. I'm a native Ohioan, and that's where Andrew grew up. And when he graduated high school, we decided to move to the Phoenix, Arizona area in the desert foothills, about a 2,500 foot elevation north of Phoenix, and in a beautiful area. Unfortunately, the summers get incredibly hot. We were a little bit cooler than downtown Phoenix, but you might get 105, 110. I think sometimes 115, and it is not a dry heat, friends. That is a misnomer, because in the summer you have something called monsoon season. So you've got rain in the air every day, although it may not rain very much, but it's very humid. And you mix that with 110, and it's pretty unpleasant. You can go outside at night, and it's still 100 degrees, and you feel like you're in an oven. So Andrew's mother said, after we've been there about a dozen years, how about we move up to my hometown in the Pacific Northwest, Spokane, Washington, which is in eastern Washington over by the Idaho border. And so we did, and we lived there for about 5 years. And about a year ago, we decided, Washington is exceedingly a blue state. It is controlled by Seattle in the west, even though eastern Washington is totally different. Idaho, 20 miles away, is even more so different. But we lived in Washington, and we were subject to some of their insanity, and so we decided to move back to Ohio and bought a small condo in a red state in an area that I knew and she knew because she'd lived there for many years as well while we raised the children. And we decided that from there we would maybe have a couple of places that we would spend part of the year. And part one of that has been realized as we've moved to Mexico, and we'll be spending part of the year here, and then decide, maybe another locale. It's a little difficult today with some of the COVID restrictions to nail down something, so we're kind of waiting till maybe some of that passes, if it ever does, if the politicians ever decide they want to give up that power over us. But Mexico is pretty easy to get in and out of. Of course, as U.S. citizens, you need to have a negative COVID test to get back into the country, unlike the people that walk across the border. Oh wait, I wasn't supposed to say that. I just did. So we're spending some time in Mexico. We bought some property here, and we're in a little town on Lake Chapala, which is the largest lake in Mexico. Little town called Ajijic. I think the population's 10, 11,000. The lake goes, I think, 50 miles or so from east to west, and all the little towns along the lake, maybe it's an 80, 85,000 person population. There's some expats here, but it's very Mexican. This is not a resort, it's real Mexican. And it's very interesting. And as you get used to a little bit to the Mexican people, most of them are lovely people. You walk down the street, hola, hola, they speak to you. Some of them are incredibly hardworking. I mean, we've had people, and they don't make a lot of money, and so people come over here, and we're just happy to tip people nicely that do good work for us and or get here on time and so on and so forth as we move in. And so it's really an interesting experience. So the point is I am thoroughly concerned about the United States. I mean, I really have been for 25 years. I think this is why Andrew started thinking about what has become Nomad Capitalist. But really, over the last 5 or 6 years, it's gotten to be Looney Tunes. And you know that. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. It's been going, it's onward, probably all started back in the 60s when I was in high school. And but it advanced rather slowly, and I think it picked up some steam in the 90s, and more so over the last 10 years, probably after the great financial crisis, and even more so over the last 5 years or so. I just think it's careening out of control. I say we are an automobile on a high mountain. The guardrails are off. we're going like this down the highway, and any little wind, we're going to tip over and down the ravine. That's kind of how I feel right now. But we're not prepared to totally leave the United States for a variety of reasons, but we are spending some time outside the United States. And I say to you, because I have never said, there was a title of one of the YouTube videos I did earlier this year that says, Bob says leave, Americans leave. I never said that. If you go where you're treated best, that's what Andrew talks about. I think it's exactly the case because I'm the one that came up with that. He's absolutely right. If the United States is where you feel you're treated best, stay there. If the United States is where you're treated best, but you don't like the state you're in, move to another state. But go where you're treated best. And if you want to fully pick up and go elsewhere, do that. Now, I think in the situation we're in today, you're going to need to have boots on the ground, and you may have to have plan A, B, and C because things may change wherever it is you go. I think you need to be prepared for that. So what we've done is we're in the swimming pool. We're not totally in the deep end, but we've dipped our toe in and we're about maybe a third to half of the way out in the pool, and we're getting a little closer to the deep end right now. And as time goes on in the next months and years, I can probably give you a little bit more insight because it is a little stressful. I'm not going to lie about that. But we're not totally ready to leave the United States. I am hoping that things turn around at some point in time. But for now, we're kind of out of the lunacy. And, I can choose to read about what's going on as much as I want. I need to know for, our investments and whatnot. I need to know if I'm going to do some of these videos. But we're out of the line of fire a little bit. And not that this is a panacea. There is no panacea. But I thought I'd bring you up to date a little bit because I know there were some comments on some earlier videos. And I guess inquiring minds want to know, is what I got from some of the comments. So I'm really happy you stopped by. I look forward to seeing you next time. I'm the Nomad Dad for the Nomad Capitalist.
Don't stop now. We've got well over 1,000 more videos here on YouTube for you to watch and learn how to go where you're treated best. And if you want to work with Nomad Capitalist personally, go to nomadcapitalist.com/apply, learn about our unique, tried and true process, garnered over years of experience, and learn how you can become our client.